to be live stream. Welcome to this magical Monday live stream. Welcome to the Divine Diva universe. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for all of y'all being here with me. And today in this magical Monday live stream, we are going to talk about a creative journey, the creative journey. And I actually want to talk about how the projection of others can limit you. And this is something that I have not realized. I wasn't aware of until years later, and it became such a powerful realization for me because it was something built upon years and years. And it imagine it like this shadow, this shadow that was made or made out of the projections of other people, out of what they say is possible and not possible for you. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can overcome this, period. Because I've been through this, and girl, I'm so excited that I went through it because going through that made me really open my eyes and see all of the projections and limitations that people have put up on me that somehow have created a shadow. And that shadow, you know, it had its moment. It had its moment and it popped on me. So I really wanted to share this with y'all. And the affirmation for this live stream is I am powerful beyond measure. And in this story time, y'all gonna understand why this affirmation is so important. So my creative journey started for me personally at a very young age. I always loved theater. I always loved being theatrical, and I love doing makeup, I love doing hair, I love dancing, and I love making impressions. And if I saw something like on the TV or whatever and I found it funny or a character, I would try to pretend to be that character. And in my household, I got shut down for being this way. And my father would say things to me like, oh, Viviana, she's everything. She dances, she sings, she's the orchestra, she's the performer, she is everything. And the way he said was it was like I felt like it was something wrong or something bad with me being like this. And that was the first time where I first felt like I got shut down for being me, which is being a person that loves being extra. Because I'm just like that girl. Like I love the theater. I love the theatrical. I love the performance. I'm about it. So years later, I went to school, yada yada yada. We will all go through this experience, whatever. So I was in a position where I was telling in my teenage self, I was just telling my parents that I want to do something in art, I want to do something in dancing, I want to do something in that world. And they was telling me that it's not possible because it's not possible for people from the island. And that for us, the only thing that is possible is working in hotel, in industrial business like that. And I remember I was like, what the fuck? Because I felt like, how you mean? I know that it's possible because it's something that I want to do. And so a part of me believed that idea. And the whole idea of me becoming an artist got shut down. I was just completely hello Karine. I was completely shut down, and I just forgot about it. I never cared to pursue a career within that industry. However, I later on, when I turned 18, I started working at Zara. And when I started working at Zara, it was like a completely new world for me because my mind expanded. I was working in a creative industry, and it was just fun and excitement because it was something that I really wanted to do. However, during my journey in Zara, I started as sales and then I became a visual merchandise. When I became a visual merchandise, I poured my heart into being a visual merchandise because I really loved creating worlds, like creating this collection and selling to people and giving them this like fantasy about what how they're gonna wear, what they're gonna wear, and all of it. So when I was working in Zara, people was telling me that wow, I can style them if I can help them get outfits for special occasions and stuff like that. So I started to style them. I started to style a few people for Maruba, and then I started styling my friends. I was already doing makeup at the time because I really just loved doing makeup. That was a form of expression for me. But then I later also went into becoming a makeup artist, doing makeup for people, getting paid for doing makeup and all of these things. And this was all happening while I was working in Zara. So I was truly expanding the possibilities um, of me entering the art world, even though I did not believe or see myself as an artist. I was just doing it because it felt good to me. And I started doing all of this. I started doing all of the makeup, all of these things. And then a few months later, I was upgraded to sub-commercial director. I became the sub-commercial director of Zara Aruba, and it was the best, amazingest experience I ever had because people were coming to me to train me. I was being sent abroad to being trained for commercial fashion, all of these things, so I can go back and teach the employees, the people working there. And I also was working with other franchise because the owner of Zara was a franchise, so he had multiple business, and he was very impressed with the success of everything that I was doing as a sub-commercial director. So I was also working for other stores of his, and it was truly the most amazing experience. However, through that experience, I knew that I just turned 20. I really wanted to study abroad. Like my dreams of studying abroad start coming up. While I was having this amazing career as a commercial director, I was traveling, I was doing all this strategy, I was being trained. It was amazing. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna study abroad. When I started this journey of studying of when I started this journey of applying to school to study abroad, I was looking at the options, and everyone around me and everyone that I've known at school was telling me that they are going to do commercial business because that is what is like what is gonna grow in the future. That is it. So it's either commercial business. It was commercial direction, like business, marketing, and stuff like that. So when I started applying these goals, you had to do this interview, we had this whole process. And I applied to this school. I was teaching myself, hey Swadi, hello gorgeous. I was teaching myself all of the things about commercial. I was educating myself because I really wanted to get into this school because I really wanted to study abroad. That was my goal. And I was doing all of this as I was working full time as a commercial director in Zara. And while I was doing this, I went to the interview, and the interview was great. And in the middle of it, the professor said to me, I was talking much about fashion, about the commercial things I was learning, because that is what I was in. I was leveraging the career that I was doing to help me get into a higher education because I want to continue expanding. And the professor said to me, this interview is really great. I think that you're a really great student, but I don't think that this is a good education for you. And I felt so crushed because I felt like, oh my god, this was my only chance into getting into a school, higher education. And he told me later on, he was like, why don't you just try something in fashion? And I was like, yeah, why don't I try something in fashion? And that is where the that initiated me. That was when I got the proposal to go into fashion. So, hi Karina. So I went into fashion and I was like, okay, let me start researching schools, fashion school, what I can do, and all of these things. And through my research, I learned that people actually study for visual merchandise. Hello, Leafy. Leafy Dreams. Love that. And I realized that, because I was working as a commercial director, so I had no idea of the possibilities of careers within fashion. And I realized that you can study as virtual merchandise, as product manager, as illustrator, fashion design, all of these things. Yo, my mind was blown because I never thought it was possible. And this is coming from that idea of me being an artist, of me pursuing a creative career shut down, because I already had that shut down within me, so I couldn't see that for myself. So because I couldn't see that for myself, it was harder for me to see the other possibilities. And I started applying to these schools, applying to this fashion school, and I really did my best to get in. Like, when I tell you, I was studying every day after school, like my own study, to get into these schools, to do my exams, right, to do my the English exams and all of these things. Long story short, because I was working as a commercial director, I also had the funds, baby. So I traveled to Europe to for 2 weeks to visit these schools, because here in Europe they have this open day, so that you can visit the university, the academies, or the colleges, all these things. So when I came here on vacation and I visited the school. I went to a few schools and I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to study, because again, I did not see that for myself. But I just follow whatever it is I was feeling. So I remember I stepped to the school and I had this feeling of like, this is it. And out of curiosity of this is it, I was like, let me see what type of education they had. So you can walk through the whole school and you'll see all the studies and other students from that study explaining like what is it about, tutors, teachers, all of this, right? I see one study specifically that's called like junior product manager. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Because when I was reading the explanation, it sounded exactly what I was doing in Zara as a sub-commercial director. Like, I was actually, I was making the strategies for the clothing, deciding which type of clothing are we receiving, which are we're not receiving, what models do we want, what models do we don't want, what works for us, what is best selling, like also all of these things. So all of the commercial part, the strategy, all of it. And I was constantly communicating with people in Spain, because that is what commercial sub-commercial director does. They communicate with um, the product manager, which is the head manager, which sends all the clothing to these stores and be on your neck if the store is not selling. So when I read the description, I was like, oh my god, this sounds like something that I'm already doing. So I really love the whole idea, but they also was telling that you will not only learn the commercial side, you will also learn like the creative side, the fashion, the pattern, the design side, which I have not no experience of, because of course I was just working in a company. So I applied to that school and I got in. I applied to a few actually, and I got into that one, the one that I really felt like it was for me. I stayed in that study. I finished that study. It was like a 3-year study. I learned fashion design, illustrating. I learned marketing, how to send emails, stitching, how the whole fashion process go, like from styling to style sheets to creating the prices to dividing to the market, who is this collection from, like all of it. I learned so much that I was just like, oh my god, this is exactly what I needed. But throughout that, I also, when I finished my degree, I also realized this is not something that I want to continue in. I don't want to continue in the fashion industry because I've also learned, thank you, darling, because I also learned about the dirt of it. Thank you, Zuadi. The dirt of like the industry, consumption, and all of these things. So this became something that I said like, okay, I want to do something else. So I finished my degree in fashion design. I graduate. I had no direction, no idea what to do or where to go next. Because again, I was not seeing myself as a creator. Even though I was in a creative school, I just got a diploma. However, I still didn't see that for myself. But because I was following this feeling of do this, I was just following my intuition. So I just did that. And I remember a professor said to me, why don't you go into the art industry? And I was like, what am I gonna do in the art industry? Because I didn't see that for myself. Yo, I was like, let me just get curious and do a little research. I get curious, I do a little research, I get overwhelmed of all of the possibilities as in the art world, in the art industry. And I'm just like, okay, this is my background. This is what I know a little bit, I graduated in. I want to get into this, but I don't know how. Like, I don't know how to connect it to get into the art, because I was doing fashion design, even though designing wasn't my whole I forgot the name of it. The whole major. Designing wasn't the whole major, so we also had a lot of marketing. So in my major I had a combination of design and branding. So I was like, I don't know what to do, and I found this very unique. I started doing a lot of research because I was like, I need to continue. I want to enter the art industry. I need to continue my education because I really want this. Y'all, I find this very unique academy where they just created this new major that's fairly new for 2 years, and the major is actually like advertising, but then it has the name Beyond. And in this major, it's like there is a little bit of everything. You have writers, copywriter, branding, advertiser, you have singer, performers, all of it, like fashion design, all of it. It's very entrepreneurial, I would say. And I was like, when I found that major, I was reading all of it. I was like, oh my god, this sounds a little bit like for me. I would go to the open day of this school, and it was the same feeling, that initial feeling of like, this is the one, this is it. I get in, I see all of the art, and I am just mind blown. I am mind blown because I'm like, oh my god, this is so amazing. I cannot believe like this is possible, like your girl is excited. So I go back home and I focus the summer on creating my portfolio. I create this advertising portfolio. I pour my heart into this. Like, I make sure I talk with my brother. I schedule these days so he can take some pictures for me, and we use his camera because he has a professional camera. And I really do all of these extra things, and create like a advertising portfolio. Even though it was heavily fashion because that is what I just graduated on, um, I still try to lean more to the advertising just so I can get into the school. So, long story short, your girl gets into school. Like, I get into the education, it's amazing, you know, like, I am excited. I'm in an art academy, which is like a very popular and well known top tier academy. I'm excited. Life is amazing. However, throughout all of this, I still don't see myself as a creator. Even though I am in the creator industry, even though I was making content online, I did not see myself as that artist because I had that whole idea that I told you in the beginning of this video. I was blinded by that. It was a shadow. That experience created a shadow, and slowly, as I was going through my journey within the creative industry, within the art industry, some of these experiences that happened come to the shadow. They added to the shadow, they added to the shadow, so the shadow became bigger and bigger. And my first year in the art academy, we had this year of like exploration where you're supposed to try all these things to see what do you really want to do, what is the industry you want to go to, what all these things, right? A lot of the people entered already knowing, oh, listen, better than better. I'm like, if you only knew that was the best thing that could have happened for me, because that really opened me to see the artist in me. So definitely doing better now. But in that first year that we had the time to explore all of these different, the school has stations. It has various stations. It has like wood, metal, ceramic. So you can go to this station and just explore. Even in the fashion station, they have like a lot of machines that you can use and try stuff, create your own clothing, all of it. You can print stuff on your clothing, like it's an art academy that's very well equipped. So I just started exploring. I started exploring, and the first year is just this journey of exploration. And then in the second year, something very crazy happened to me. I decided that finally I am like, okay, I found that I love performing. I love performing, I love writing, and I love dancing. So I decided I want to combine all of these three. Tell me why. The day that I made the decision that I'm gonna focus on performing, writing, and creating content and all of these things, I get sucked into this haze. The shadow that was building from the first time that my parents told me it's not possible for you to be an artist because it doesn't happen for people from the Caribbean. That moment created a shadow, and that shadow kept growing throughout the adversity. Even though when I was in the fashion school doing all this fashion designing, it was still laughing at me, poking at me, telling me it's not possible, all of these things. So through the year that I was in the art academy, the first year, I was trying all of these things. I've forgotten about the shadow. I haven't heard anything. I was just exploring and doing all the things that I loved. And when I decided that, oh my God, by all this exploration, by all of this doing, I was like, finally, I know what I really want to do in the art industry, performing and writing. This shadow blocks me, literally. Like, I enter into this haze where I couldn't see myself. I couldn't see myself as an artist. I went to school and I was feeling alienated. I was feeling like, oh my God, what am I doing here? All these people are better than me. They know what they're doing. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't know what type of artist I am. I don't like, I was just in that was going on internally. And we had this project where we had to work on this major for the term. And I I couldn't see myself. I couldn't, nothing creative could have come through, no idea, nada. I was just confused, and I stopped going to school because I just felt like I didn't feel like myself. I remembered by the end of the term we had evaluation and all of these things. During the I decided that for my evaluation I still wanted to show up. So I still show up. I show up with a terrible idea, design, whatever you want to call it. And of course, I don't pass. And during the evaluation, all these tutors, they sit together and you sit there with them and they evaluate you, and you listen to them evaluate you. Girl, I remember feeling so bad because I felt like, what? This is not me. Why am I failing? I don't fail. I'm not a failure. What the fuck? After that evaluation, that's how I was feeling. After that evaluation, I stepped outside of the school, and y'all, I don't know what happened to me, but it was like something, I was taken out of my body. Something took me out of my body, and I could see myself throughout those 3 months of the term, or however long that was. I could see all of my actions, all of my behaviors, all of the shadows, all of the doubt that I was having, all of the lies and the ideas that I was telling myself. I saw myself. And when I was seeing myself, I was seeing myself like blindfolded by this heavy cloud. Oh my God. And when I look at this cloud, this shadow, this thing, it was like imagine a cloud of memory with all of the memories of the people that told you that it is not possible for you, that you're not smart enough, you're not creative enough, you can't do this, all of the failures, all of the moments where you felt like you was doubting yourself. It's like this cloud collected all of them and was using it to keep you down, to keep you in that state of doubt, to keep you in that state of not being able to see yourself as the artist, as the creator. And I was locked in with that shadow for 3 months, for the whole term. And when I stepped out of the school, and it was just a moment, like I swear to you, just a second. And when that happened to me, I remember it was like around the holiday season. I was like, oh my God, this is not it. This is not me. What is happening here? There is something that I need to figure out here. And I was like, oh my God, I need a journal. I need to figure this out, and I need to like fucking defeat this freaking shadow. The hell? And I went home, y'all, and I journal like crazy. I started going deep within to realize, where does this idea come from? Why do I feel like this? Where does this shadow come from? How did it got so big? What is the things in my subconscious that it's feeding off, that it's keeping it there? Cause ain't no way. I refused. So I started journaling on what was the first time where I didn't see myself, or I didn't see the possibility of me being an artist or a creator. And it went all the way back to that first memory that I shared with Shell, when my father legit said to me, "That's not possible for you. It doesn't happen for people from the Caribbean." And that was the root. And from there, all of the experiences that came after, through my own journey as a creator, working in Zara, working in fashion industry, applying to this school, all this whole process, all of the moments where I had doubt or setbacks or pitfalls or whatever, all of it accumulated. And when it came to the moment where I was in a space where I was like, I tried different things in art. I tried writing, painting, ceramic, all of these things. I tried things that I really enjoy doing. And I come to realize that, oh my God, I love writing, I love performing. This is what I want to do. I want to create content. When the moment that I thought I got secure, that is when the shadow was like, "Oh, you thought you was slick?" That is when the devil was like, "I have this shadow for you." And boom, threw it at me, girl. And I was blocked for those months creatively. And when I wrote about all of these things and I start rewiring myself and changing all of these things, and you know what I do, how we journal, we go deep, baby. I came back to school in January and I was full on speed. Honey, I did a performance, I did this, I did that, because I had to, of course, repeat. I had to get my grade, girl. So I had all the energy, but it wasn't about the energy. I had removed all of the projections, all of the limitations, all of the things that people threw at me, that they were telling me it's possible, it's not possible, all of the shit that they threw at me. And somehow, some way, I internalized, or I believed, I worked through all of that. So that is why I am grateful that I had that experience. Because if it wasn't for that experience, I would have never realized how much limiting beliefs and projections I had internalized, or that I have believed somehow, some way within me, that didn't allow me to see myself as the artist, as the creator that I am. Throughout my study in fashion design, I couldn't see myself as that. When I was applying to the school for fashion design, I couldn't see myself like that. When I was applying to the art school and got in, I couldn't see myself like that. Even when I was in it, I could not see myself, because internally, somewhere, my spirit knew that this is part of what I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm multifaceted like that. But because of the projections of my parents' experience, my family, I couldn't see that for myself. So I moved, but I moved with that doubt. I moved with that. And having that term just where I was blocked really, 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 really brought all of it for me. Because truth is, I would have continued without ever realizing that I had all of these limiting beliefs within me. So when I failed that term, that failing was because I never fail. I'm someone, I never fail. Like, I'm an overachiever. I want to achieve things, I want to do things. Girl, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna give my best and my all, because I want to be the best. So when I failed and I felt that embarrassment, I felt like, what the fuck is wrong with you, girl? This is not you. When that moment happened and then I stepped outside of the school, boom, it revealed itself. I could see it all. And I took those months, the holiday season, to journal all of it. And when I came back to school mid-January, baby, slaying. I was slaying. Like, all of my projects, like, I have so much to share. If you check my Instagram, you will see, because I'll be posting right now reels about all of the projects and all of the things that I have been working on. And honey, it's been amazing. So I really wanted to share this story because sometimes the projections of others can limit you, and I have experienced that. This is my story. And I don't want it to happen to you. I don't want any of you watching this video following the Divine Diva universe. If you're in this world, if you're within this world with me, girl, then I don't want you to ever let the projections and the limitations of other people affect how you see yourself. Just because they don't see that as possible for them does not mean that it's not possible for you. And that is something that I had to learn the hard way. And I'm here to telling you how you should do it so you don't learn it the hard way. So if there is something that you really want to do, that you just feel like it excites you, it's something that you enjoy doing, that you just feel like doing it, and you're not doing it because of the limitations of projections of others, don't be that person. Don't let other people's limitations and projections stop you from doing and being the person that you're meant to be. And with that, I also want to tell you the journaling prompts that I've used to help me see things differently, to help me go back to the root and rewire that, change that experience, change that feeling, change all of it, is the next course that I will be dropping on July 22. So on July 22, I have my course, the Celestial Diamond course, that is coming. And in this course, I will be teaching you all of the concepts and the meditations and the journaling prompts that I have been using over the past 10 years that has helped me rewire, change, and just reframe the perspective, because that is what I had to do. I had to reframe the perspective. I had to change all of the things that I had once believed, because the truth is, it's not truth. And in this course, I will be teaching you all of my specific methods, step by step, that I have been doing over the years, that has helped me change my limiting beliefs, see different possibilities. It has made me so much money. I started working as a waitress, and from a waitress, I became working in administer papers and stuff like that. From there, I started working as a recruiter within the same company. Like, I elevated in that company to then elevated to working in Zara, and from Zara, I went from sales, vision merchandiser, to sub-commercial director in less than 3 years. And within my creative journey, as I just told you guys, I was going through this whole process, and I just had to go back, sit with myself, and journal. And I use all of this journaling. Like, I journal for days on this, for weeks on this. And this truly helped me to change all of that. Not just change the ideas and the limitations, but remove them, because some of them just needed to be removed. So I'm really excited for this masterclass that I will be teaching in July, 22 of July. So make sure that you sign up for the Divine Diva universe, so that you receive all of the notifications and all of the information. Every video that I'll be posting from now on will be in regards of that, because this is something that I have been doing over the past 10 years. It all started for me at a very young age, when I was very, very, very poor, and I refused to be poor. And then, long story short, I have I'm living on a passive income of 2K, and it's like life is fabulous. I'm studying fashion design, conceptual, and life is freaking good. So I really want to share how I had to change many things internally, emotionally, mentally, so that I could achieve all of these things. Like even seeing myself as an artist, seeing myself as a creator. I had to sit back and journal and go back to what are the ideas that I've created? What are the filters that I created that is now blocking me of seeing myself in my true potential? So I'm really excited, and I really, really hope to see you all in this masterclass. And that was it for today's Magical Monday live stream. And the affirmation for this live stream is I am powerful beyond measure. And that's on, period. See you guys later. Bye. Thank you. I'm just seeing the comment now. Thank you, pretty leafy dreams. I appreciate that.